Point 5. Today, I'm diving into the remaining secret hacks, tips, and tricks to score cheap flight tickets, and I'm challenging you to use these tactics to find the best deals. Be sure to watch the first video as well from the series. This is the second video in the series. I have used these flight hacks myself, and so I know they work. You are about to find out why they all successfully worked and how you can implement them for your next trip. Remember, please watch the first video in the series as well to see more hacks you can use. You won't be disappointed. I will leave a link in the description. You will also see the actual video image on the screen that you can click on. But please watch this video first and then the other. Let's continue with more secret travel hacks for getting dirt cheap flights to any destination. We can't say it enough. Be flexible with your dates. We are always looking for great ways to save money on our flights, and one thing that's always worked for us is to be flexible with our travel dates. Airlines tend to have better prices if you fly during the week versus on the weekend. We've typically found midweek to be the best time to travel for cheaper flights. So if you can go early or hold off a couple days, try checking out the prices for Tuesday, Thursday. Make sure you aren't flying around a holiday, as those prices will tend to go up a lot since it's a very popular time to travel. If you can delay your trip until after the holiday traffic dies down, you can save lots of money. Another way you can be flexible with your dates is to go during the low or off seasons. If you go when it's most popular, then your flight will most likely be a lot more than if you went during a slower time of the year. Being flexible with your dates, whether it be time of year, which day you fly in and which day you fly out, or traveling when it is not near a holiday, can help keep your flight costs down and keep more money in your pocket. Use a flight finding app. I recently discovered the smartphone app called Hopper. If I have a flight to book, it's the most valuable tool I use to ensure I get the best price. After entering in your search criteria, Hopper tells you what the prices are like, how they're trending, and when will be best to book. Hopper continues to monitor the prices and alerts you when they're at the lowest price that their sophisticated prediction mechanisms have determined. I will say, don't try too hard to get the rock-bottom price that Hopper predicts will happen. If you're within $20 or so of their lowest price prediction, just book it. I waited once and got burned when the prices never went back down. And while I generally insist on booking airfare directly with the airline, I also discovered that Hopper occasionally offers even better prices than the airline does. I saved almost 40% off the cost of a short-haul flight by booking directly with the Hopper app, and everything went smoothly. Opt for stopovers rather than direct flights. We try to save money on long-haul flights by choosing stopovers rather than direct flights. A great tool to use for this hack is Google Flights. Go to Google Flights and enter your route and preferred date of travel. When the prices pop up, go to the calendar overview and look at all the pricing options around your preferred date. Cheaper rates are usually flights with stopovers. We examine these flight times to see which flights have short stopover times and do not involve overnight stays. Stopovers with 3 children in tow can be a lot of hassle and added expense if not planned carefully. Sometimes there are other added bonuses too. For example, on our round-the-world trip, we utilized this hack to fly from Honolulu to Christchurch in New Zealand. Flights were very expensive, and most direct flights involved either returning to Los Angeles or flying further to double back to Christchurch, changing planes in Auckland or Sydney. We found a cheap flight with Fiji Airways that stopped in Apia, Samoa, and Nadi, Fiji, with only very short stops involved. It was perfect, but then we decided to contact the airline to find out if we could extend the stopover. We discovered we were allowed to extend the stopover at one of the 2 locations for no extra cost. We ended up spending the money we saved on a direct flight over $1,000 on a fantastic 2 weeks exploring Samoa. Use Dollar Flight Club to snag deals. One of the best cheap flight hacks that will not only save you money but also reduce the amount of time you spend searching for airfares online is to sign up to Dollar Flight Club. The online service sends you the best flight deals directly to your email or via SMS based on the preferences you select when you sign up. Their premium plan allows you to pick any number of departure airports, ideal destinations, and preferred airlines, and will send you any deals they find as soon as they become available. You can also log in to a dashboard and see any deals that you have been sent that are still active or have expired. Any deals that Dollar Flight Club sends you direct you to Google Flights, which means that the deal is available directly through the airline's website and not through any third party that might have extra hidden fees. Dollar Flight Club is most worth signing up to if you're a frequent international traveler who predominantly chooses to fly economy. They don't typically send domestic or business fares. To be able to take advantage of the deals you get sent, it is recommended to have some flexibility on departure dates and the departure or destination airport. Book cheaper tickets on Student Universe. If you're a student or young person, there's an entire website devoted to helping you find cheap flights called Student Universe. All you need to do to start finding discounts on flights around the world is to create an account on Student Universe, then confirm your age and/or student status by submitting some basic documents. Their mission is to encourage young people to travel the world, and I've had great success with Student Universe flights over the years, including a return trip to London for about $200. To get the cheapest deals, simply choose the flexible option when searching for dates. This will give you the cheapest flights within a range of about a week either way, and the absolute rock-bottom deals are marked with a diamond shape. If you're not a student, Student Universe can still get you cheap flights. For instance, if you're between the ages of 16 and 25, there are also young person fares that you can take advantage of. If you're a teacher or college faculty member, you will be eligible for additional cheap fares as well. And finally, if none of the above apply to you, or perhaps you graduate soon, don't worry. There are still cheap flights to be found in the adult fare section of Student Universe, so it's worth a shot to check them out. Don't avoid flying on holidays. If you need to fly during peak periods, such as the holidays, flights tend to be more expensive compared to other times of the year. A great hack for traveling over the holidays is to try to fly on an actual holiday, such as Christmas Day. If you don't mind spending part of the day traveling, you can often save money this way, as it's not generally a desirable time to fly. I've done several flights on Thanksgiving and Christmas days, and have definitely saved money compared to flying a day or two before or after. It wasn't bad at all flying on the holidays, as I found most people were in a happy and festive mood, making the airport and flight a bit more fun. If you are flying over school holidays, the same principle applies. If you are able to time your trip to start or end a few days before the start or after the end of the holidays, you are likely to find better deals. Not always possible for families, though, I know. Definitely shop around as much as you can if you're traveling over the holidays. Although it is generally more expensive, good fares can still be found with a bit of searching and flexibility. Ditch your big suitcase. One of the best tricks I've learned in my travels is the art of packing carry-on only. However, the goalpost on what exactly airlines allow on flights seems to constantly keep moving. Budget airlines in Europe like Ryanair first started putting restrictions on cabin bag size, and then airlines in the US followed suit by offering basic economy fares that even charged for an overhead bin-sized carry-on. Now, you can only bring a small underseat bag for free on most flights, a long way away from the free checked bag of the old days. As a result, I've had to get a bit savvier with my packing when planning short jaunts, and I've streamlined my packing style to match. I've started using a bag that fits under the seat in front of me on airlines like Ryanair and Wizz Air in Europe and Spirit and United Airlines back in the US. Using underseat luggage means that you'll pay the bare minimum baseline fare and not have to pay for pricey upgrades. These upgrades can range anywhere from a more reasonable $7 or so on Wizz Air or Ryanair for a priority upgrade booked in advance, to a more price-gouging $25 service fee plus checked baggage fee on United. Yikes! If you try to bring your carry-on to the gate. Either way, knowing exactly what you're allowed to bring on board makes a huge difference, as any packing mistakes you make at the airport can become quite costly. Compare flights on Kiwi. One of my biggest lifesavers, Kiwi.com, is a savior for us travelers. The best thing about Kiwi.com is that it allows you to check the flight costs for more than one destination at the time, and it gives you a broad area for searching the dates and airports. In fact, I can choose the entire country so that I know which city will give me the cheapest flight options. Here is what you need to do. Go to Kiwi.com and choose your country in the From box. Then, fill in a couple of countries which you are planning to go to in the Destination section. And for the departure dates, choose the Date Range option. For the Date Range option, you can click on a date and then drag it to another date which you want your range to be. Finally, choose the Trip Length option in Return and select the tentative number of days you're planning to stay. That's it. Kiwi.com will give you a list of the cities with varying dates and duration, and you can simply choose the cheapest one out of it. Now you can book the flight directly from Kiwi.com, or you can find the same carrier and dates on another site where you might get some discount. But honestly, this is one of the best ways to find cheap flights for your desired destination. Consider different airports near your destination. Check prices from airports that are within a few hours' drive of your departure city and destination. Sometimes you can find much cheaper or more direct flights from a nearby airport. This can be especially helpful if the other airport is in a different country. For example, I have a friend who lives in Seattle, so she uses my tips to check flights out of both Seattle and Vancouver. Canada has different airlines than she does, and the exchange rate comes into play. The flights from Vancouver are almost always a better deal. Flying from Vancouver requires that she drive 3 hours north and pay to park the car. Even taking that into account, she sometimes saves hundreds by doing so. Then she spends at least a few hours in Vancouver at either the beginning or end of her trip, and it's like a bonus getaway for her. Similarly, if she is going to Europe, she almost always flies into Amsterdam. It's a relatively cheap direct flight from Seattle, and it's easy and cheap to jump from there to anywhere else in Europe. Google Flights makes it especially easy to check multiple airports at a time. Make sure you're aware of any visa requirements if you're looking at flying into or out of a different country. Include nearby airports in your next flight search. You might be surprised what you can find. Use airline websites in their native language. When you are searching for flights on an airline's website, it is a great idea to perform the search in that country's native language as opposed to the translated website in English. Many airlines offer their website in English as well as their own native language, but sometimes the English translated website is more expensive. I first found out about this when I was on a backpacking adventure. I was looking for a domestic flight and found that not only were flights cheaper on the Columbia website, but there were also more flights to choose from. When I hit the English button, the prices changed and I had fewer choices. Booking a flight on a website in a different language can be easier said than done, though, especially if you don't speak the language of the website you're booking on. The best way to do this is to get a local hotel or hostel staff member to give you a hand for a moment when booking your flights. Otherwise, Google Translate will be your best friend. I have found this hack works best on domestic flights and is less likely to be useful for international flights. But regardless, it is a great thing to check and has literally saved me hundreds of dollars. Book your flights 6 to 12 weeks ahead. One of the most consistent ways I've found to get cheap flights, whether domestic or international, is to book the tickets at just the right time. In my experience, booking tickets 6 to 12 weeks in advance of your departure date is the most reliable way to snatch up those juicy deals. If I'm able to plan ahead, I typically start checking prices around 3 to 4 months in advance, which will give me a baseline for current prices. Additionally, you can also do some general research on forums and around the internet for what a ticket from, let's say, LAX, Los Angeles to Mumbai usually costs, and then you'll have a way to know if the prices you're seeing are a good deal or not. In this example, a fantastic deal would be under $700, while a normal ticket will cost you around $1,000 or more. So, if when you're looking 3 months in advance, you see a deal for $657, I would book it right then and there. Whereas if it's saying $1,500, then I would wait until the 6 to 12 week window, and it will almost certainly be way cheaper than $1,500. This tip has definitely saved many thousands of dollars over the past 15 years of international travel. Well, that's it for now, folks. Thank you for being with me today. I really hope you enjoyed the video and got some value from it. Please give a thumbs up, hit the notification bell and subscribe button so you won't miss out on future videos. Please make sure you visit the links in the description. Anything you purchase will help to support the channel, and I thank you so much in advance. I am Cheryl, owner of this faceless channel, and it was my pleasure being your host today. See you again soon, and happy travels!